Okay, let's start. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. I'm Ranjan Das, an alumnus of 1998 batch. We have an important event today. The Director of NIT Rourkela, Professor K. Umamaheshwar Rao, will address to the member of NITROAA community. The agenda for today's meeting, the agenda for today's meeting is as follows. Mr. John Cora, the president of NITROAA, will provide a high-level overview of NITROAA's achievement. Then I will introduce the director to you all. Then we will pass it to the director for his address, and then we will wrap up with questions and answer. Without further ado, let me pass it to John Cora, the president of NITROAA, an alumnus of 1966 batch, to share NITROAA's achievements with the director and with the members of NITROAA community. Thank you. Over to you, John.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. And I'm John Cora, president of NITRA. And I just want to spend 5 minutes. Ranjan has given me 5 minutes, so I had to talk very fast to give you an overview of NITRA. First of all, I want to welcome Director Rao to the NITRA gathering. To his peers, he's known as Dr. Umaji, so we would like to call you Dr. Umaji. And for his willingness to give a short introduction, give a short introduction to NITRA, that is the Overseas Alumni Association. The first slide, please. NITRA was officially incorporated as a nonprofit organization in 2014, with about 50 members joined in the first convention in Charlotte, North Carolina. You can see the growth of NITRA. Currently, it is up to 1,000 members, over 1,000 members. And the top one red item is the number of student members in NITRA. So we are more than 1,000 members now. And we are organized in 12 chapters. Next one. We are organized in 12 chapters, geographically located. So a lot of members within the chapter, but there are a lot of members who are not part of the chapter. And the way we communicate with our members, we have built up an infrastructure, which is mainly with the website. Third one. We have a comprehensive website which is enhanced recently. It is called NITRA.org. So I request everyone to go to NITRA.org on a regular basis, because we want to build it up as a one-stop reference for NITRA. Then for messaging platform, we have introduced Telegram due to some limitations of WhatsApp. And we have a comprehensive Google group for mass email messaging. And then we have a NITRA LinkedIn page where we post important information. And in order to keep the membership in connection, we have a number of connect platforms. First of all, we have a quarterly newsletter, which is called Connections. We conduct this type of webinars on a regular basis, at least 6 per year. We have the conventions. Already we had 7 conventions, and the next one is scheduled for Dallas, Texas in October, 7 through 9 for the 2022 convention. And then in order to highlight the talent show, we conducted the Winter Fest and the Summer Fest. And we plan to do that in subsequent years. One of the original missions of NITRA was to give back to the alma mater, the NITRA, and also help fellow alumni in distress. For that reason, we established mainly 3 funds. The Student Scholarship Fund, which is NITRA's flagship effort. We our original estimate was $300,000 US dollars, but we have exceeded that. We have collected close to $330,000, and that is deposited in an account at NITR with the State Bank of India. It is close to 2.5 crores in INR. That is an endowment fund, and the scholarships are paid out from that endowment fund. So far, we have given out 40 scholarships, that is 40,000 Indian rupees per semester for needy students. And last year, we gave out 11 scholarships to needy students. And the second fund is the Vision 2025 fund, which was started a couple of years ago. We are close to $50,000 in that fund, but we are waiting for the actions from NITR regarding 2025 so that we can request more funding from the alumni and then put to use at appropriate places in NITR with the NITR identifies. And the third one we have recently started is the Alumni Benevolent Fund in order to help the alumni in distress in North America. That could be students or working alumni. So we have just started it, and we are encouraging our membership to fund that benevolent fund. So we are collecting a lot of money. So we have established a financial management effort in order to make sure that we are meeting the obligations. The fourth one, next one. For the financial management, we have to report to Internal Revenue Service on a yearly basis. So for that, we have engaged an external CPA, Chartered Accountant. Then we have a monthly reporting system to the board. And we have an internal audit committee to do the internal audit of the accounts. And for prudent fund management, we have started 2 brokerage accounts in order to manage the funds so that at least it will get some market-driven returns. So in conclusion, I have requests for all the members, visit NITRA.org often on a regular basis. And when you're there, sign up for the Dallas Convention. It's easy to sign up from the NITRA landing page for Dallas Convention. Then donate to the causes you think that is worthwhile. Either it could be the scholarship fund or the alumni distress fund or the Vision 2035 fund. And also join Telegram. That is another request I have, so that we will have a very comprehensive messaging system. If you have any questions, I will answer during the QA session. But because of time, I just turned the meeting over to Ranjan. Please take it away, Ranjan.
Thank you. It gives me immense pleasure to introduce the Director of NIT Rourkela, Professor K. Umamaheshwar Rao, to members of NITROAA fraternity. Professor Rao joined as Director of NIT Rourkela in February of this year, 2022. Prior to joining NIT Rourkela, he served as Director of National Institute of Technology, Karnataka. He has over 30 years of experience in academia, both as faculty and in several administrative roles. Some of his important portfolio includes Chairman Estate and Vice Chairman of Joint Entrance Examination, commonly known as JEE. He was a faculty for almost 3 decades at IIT Kharagpur and was the head of its mining engineering department. He has a bachelor degree in mining engineering from Osmania University, a master degree in mining engineering from IIT-BHU, and a Ph.D. from IIT Kharagpur. He recently said, and I'm quoting his statement, NIT Rourkela is a pride entity of Odisha. The institute's rank in NIRF ranking matters today. Time has come to redefine our objectives and work towards them with determination, required skills, and strategies, having foresight vision for the exponential growth of the institute. Our accomplishment towards the goal starts now. Without further ado, and with this quote, let me welcome Professor Rao to address the NITROAA community. Professor Rao, the stage is all yours. Thank you. I will stop sharing, and Professor Rao, the floor is yours. So.
Professor Rao is muted, so we can't hear you, sir.
Very good morning to all of you, and then good evening from NIT Rourkela. It's indeed a great pleasure for me to be interacting with you all now today, this evening. And at the outset, let me just explain what exactly are the objectives and then the milestones that we need to really reach in the next few years. As most of you very well know, that there is a National Institutional Ranking Framework, which is abbreviated as a NIRF. That is the performance index of the institution. Now today, in the last year's performance index, there were something around 6,500 institutions which have registered in that one. This is one initiative from the Ministry of Education, Government of India, and therefore it is essential for every institution to register and then file what exactly are our yearly performances against 17 parameters. And to the information, NIT Rourkela was amongst the NITs at the second position, and then overall it was at the 12th position compared in comparison to these and various other institutions until 2017. Reasons, right, are some of the reasons which you all know, and it's not right to again go into the reasons for the drop in the rank. And there are two aspects which we have got to really accept here. It is not just the underperformance or the performance lacuna of the institution, rather the overperformance or the better performances of other institutions, which also really matter a lot. The reason which I just wanted to really emphasize here is that when I was at Surathkal, our target was, focus was on NIT Rourkela, and then we were really watching on a daily basis the performance of Rourkela against all the 17 parameters. And then that's how we have really worked towards improving the performance of Surathkal. And thus, in 2019, 20, 21, and 22, gradually we just, the Surathkal has really taken over Rourkela, and then it became the top 10 amongst all the IITs, and then it is now the second institution amongst the NITs. Having studied Rourkela for the last 5 years at Surathkal, now I'm back here, right, to again, now I know what is Surathkal and then I know what is Rourkela. So now here, I just would like to briefly summarize the parameters on which we are really not up to the mark. And some of them are related to the administrative issues, and some of them are related to the research potential of our faculty members, and some of them are related to the infrastructure facilities that we have, and then the hostels and then preparedness that we have. So now, first of the parameter, I'm going through the details of that one, is the faculty publications as well as the quality of publications, which is what is the most important. This indeed is the outcome of the quality research which a faculty member does. And today, it is mandatory that the research has to culminate into the publication. Publication not conference or a workshop, rather it has to be in a reputed journal which has got some impact factor. Because when any other conference paper or any other national journal, in spite of it having its own popularity and then repute, then somehow NIRF ranking the team is not considering those journals which do not have the required impact factor. So now with that one, the number of publications is one thing which is an outcome of the quality of research which we are doing. In order to do the quality research, the primary requirement is the quality infrastructure in our laboratories. I really do not know how many of you have visited your alma mater, the last, and then if you had the opportunity to visit your respective departments. Some of the departments are really lacking the quality infrastructure in terms of the, not in terms of the buildings, but the quality of the equipment with which the quality research can come out. And the next aspect is that publications, quality of publications, and then the next is the patents. And today, globally, patents is one thing which is of the highest order and then requirement of any the research. For some reasons, our the research, though it is really resulting in publications, it is not really ending up in the patents. Then again, everything is going around is the quality of equipment on which you are working, and then the consistency of the results and then publications that you are really making. So now these three parameters are interconnected, so interwoven that everything is focusing on, or rather converging on the type of the facilities that you have on campus as far as the research is concerned. The next other important parameter is that this is FRU, which is called the financial resources utilization, which means that what exactly is the potential of the institution in generating the financial resources. People often get confused that NIT Rourkela gets a sufficient fund from the government. That is not taken into account here. That is not what we are generating as the financial resource. The important aspect here is that what exactly is the financial resources which the faculty members and then other through projects, research projects, consultancies, and various other programs which the institution is really offering is generating. And then having generated that one, and then what exactly is the percentage utilization of these funds towards the various other aspects of the student-related activities, as well as the research-related activities of the institution. This precisely is the financial resources utilization. And then here, since NIT Rourkela is really lacking behind in the total number of the projects, okay, the projects which are really sponsored by any government agencies or various other industries, as well as the consultancies. Apart from this one, across the country, and even IITs these days, okay, there are some older IITs which have the potential to have higher research projects, right? We are not really that bad compared to any other NIT, but still, if you got to really improve and then make our sizable performance or sizable contribution in that one, the research contributions have to be really higher. And then other aspects of the financial resources is that how much are we really generating through the various other students who are taking admission in NIT Rourkela through the DASA, I think, which you all know, the direct admission of the students of the Middle East and all that one. This is a DASA admission category, wherein these are all the admission given to the NRI students and then all the Indian diaspora living in other countries who are NRIs, having the Indian passport but living abroad, okay, who pay in dollars. That is directly coming into the internal revenue generation, as well as various other programs like certificate programs, self-sponsored programs, and then executive development programs, all these programs, and then various other Ph.D. programs. Likewise, these are all the aspects which will generate enough IRG, that means internal revenue generation. Say, for example, Surathkal has the internal the revenue generation is at the level of 62 crores, whereas we now at Rourkela, we are just about 40 crores. So around 22 crores is the deficit that we are really having. Okay, so now this is another one aspect which you have got to really, this gap is that one that we are really planning to start some certificate programs. Not only that, now as you all know that industry is already entered into the 4.0 revolution, and then digital technology has become the order of the day, and the programs like artificial intelligence, IoT, machine learning, big data analysis, these are all the areas which the government is trying to find that there is a big skill gap in the Indian engineers passing out from India. And here is one message from the government that these institutions which are in the top 25 and are of ranking should take the initiative in trying to fill up this gap. NIT Rourkela is seriously planning to start certain programs like a 3-year degree program, which is totally online, right? So that we can really generate enough IRG as well as contribute to the mission of trying to fill the technology, the skill, that particular gap. And coming to the third parameter is all completely dependent on the director and how efficient or how effective and how serious the director and administration is looking to reduce the student and then the faculty, the ratio. As of now, the core department, some of the most important departments like computer sciences, the faculty student ratio is very bad. It is more than 1:20, 23 or 1:24 also. Okay. On an average, what is expected is that the faculty student ratio, it needs to be less than 1:15, but then we are above that. And in the core departments are the most important departments like computer sciences, correct? The ratio is 1:25, probably. I think it is close to, maybe I'm giving you a little higher figure, but then it is more or less close to that. So there are many vacancies. Now here, 2017, there was a faculty recruitment. 2019, there was a faculty recruitment. And 2021, 2021, these are the 2 years where you all know that there was a pandemic which hit the globe, and then no such a serious developmental activity could be undertaken. So now what has really happened is that there is a good amount of attrition of the faculty members that is taking place. Not only the faculty, the administrative, the staff members are also leaving the role. The reality I just would like to share with you. After I have joined, I think 6 faculty members, even at the level of associate professor, also have left this institution. And there is a gradual attrition of the faculty and then administrative staff. Administrative staff, I'm told that there used to be assistant registrars, 12 numbers of assistant registrars used to be there, and now only 50% of them are available. The reasons is that it is not anything connected with the NIT Rourkela. It is all about the opportunities they are having in and around and in India also. Like with the 23 IITs which have come up, and IIT-BHU has also been there. IIT Patna is there. IIT Kharagpur is anyway, it's one of the older institutions with 23 IITs, 32 NITs, IIITs, and many other centrally opportunities of the professional growth of faculty as well as administrative staff has increased enormously. And we cannot really anchor the faculty or any other person to the institution when they get an opportunity to leave. It is against the human rights. And so we have got to just, only thing is that here, in order to attract people to join Rourkela, we just have to look into the reality of that. The reality is that what exactly is the accommodation facilities which you are able to provide. Accommodation, I don't think there is any issue as far as Rourkela is concerned. It is an 100% residential institution. But now let us take at the very serious aspect is that what exactly is the medical facility that we have on campus. You know that right now, the current position of the total intake with the total students, undergraduate, postgraduate, research scholars from all streams, it is something around 8,200 plus is the total student strength on campus. Okay. And the capacity built to accommodate 5,600 students. Close to 3,000 students do not have the hostel accommodation. Hostel facilities, which hasn't been planned. I'm not going into the reasons why it was not really taken the priority. But then the reality today is that the end of this a couple of months, early August or late July, I'm going to get all the first years, second years, third years, and final years, first years MTech and 2 years of MTech, and then research scholars, 8,000 plus students are going to be on campus, and then we have got to place three students in one room. Three students, girl students in one room. That is the state of hostel condition. Okay. Now, let us look at the medical facilities. We have a beautiful hospital and then a spacious hospital. Lot many consulting rooms are there, but there are no doctors. Only one doctor is there. Just one single doctor is available and one nurse is there. The reasons, once again, is that doctors to take the admission or to take the appointment here in Rourkela, they also are as serious as any faculty member. What is my career progress? So we are going to make a compromise on a mere MBBS, the qualified a doctor. And a mere MBBS qualified doctor, if he's young and then energetic and then ambitious, right? After I have joined both the lady doctor as well as another one, Dr. Patnaik, both of them have left because they got admission in PG. Right? So now this is another reality which we have got to really see. Middle of the night, one faculty member's son was seriously sick recently in March, and he was so sick that this IGH hospital, I think, which you all know, Ispat General Hospital, they gave up their hands and said that if you are going to save the life of your child, he has to be airlifted to Hyderabad or Chennai. Right? That night we took the decision and then he was airlifted to Hyderabad and we could save the life of the child. This is one reality. And then the thing which most of us did not visualize is that COVID opened out the vulnerability of our. It's not one way, it is 1, 2, and 3 ways, and then for 2 long years, and it has created a fear amongst the residents, both of the faculty, the families, the children, as well as the students. The very word COVID has started giving shiver in the spine because of the inadequacy in the medical facilities within the city itself. Forget about Rourkela, NIT Rourkela. Within the city itself, it has exposed its vulnerability. It has exposed its limitation in that. So now, how can I really stop any faculty member from leaving, any the serious administrative staff member from going for other opportunities, Umamaheshwar or other opportunities in Ranchi or other opportunities elsewhere in another city where this facilities. Often nobody really considers this because when that boy's mother and father came to my house and then they broke down, right? I only know that what exactly is the seriousness of that. Right? Nobody really understands that for a person to live comfortably, to sleep comfortably without any tension in the mind, there should be someone in the hospital who is really giving us the assurance. These are all the niceties, but then these are all the parameters which can really put the faculty or anyone stay put at Rourkela. This is a serious the lack in a bottleneck here in our city as well as our institution. We are trying, we are still trying. One doctor came, she stayed for only 6 days. Just we are making all efforts, but then how do we really stop them from leaving this? There is no rule, there is no legislation. We cannot really stop them, right? This is one aspect which is not able to hold the faculty members on the serious department because computer science is the most sought after discipline across the globe. Okay, I take this seriously. I take the faculty recruitment and then pick up the best candidates, and they hardly are staying for a year or so. This is one aspect which I need to really think about it very seriously. This is the third parameter. And then the fourth parameter is the first other important parameter is the graduate outcome of the students. I'm comfortable in stating that Rourkela is doing much better compared to Suratpur or any other institution. But as far as the graduate outcome is concerned, and then I don't really have to tell you that we get the best students through JEE, and then because of the JEE and the quality students which we get, okay, I think the placement is also absolutely very good. Particularly all these circuit departments, 100% placement is there, and since this is a mining hub, 100% placement is really taking some of the mining related and the mining metallurgy, various other departments. Now the issue is that the perception. Perception is again taking a beating here, and people may really have a different opinion that perception is something which is again, what exactly is the view of the people about the institution. It is not just the view, but it is about the opinion which they carry about the performance of the institution in the 17 parameters. It is not just about how do they really feel about this institution, right? What exactly are the facilities on campus, about the hostels? What is the quality of food? How is it exactly connected, right? Fortunately or unfortunately, right? Fortunate is that it is an 100% residential institution. Both the students and then faculty members, they stay on campus 24/7, 365 days. Unless they have a long vacation, they're all available on campus. And therefore, there is a good activity on the weekends also, right? Every single festival is really very well celebrated here. So that is really, again, trying to help the students come closer to the relationship amongst them as well as among the faculty members. But then its connectivity to the other cities, like we have the nearest airport is Jharsuguda. This is another issue which sometimes is really beating us. And the quality of hostels, that it needs a lot of improvement, right? And which directly goes into the perception of the institution. And then the another aspect is that perception, there are certain issues, and I don't think this is the right forum which I would like to share some of the serious internal matters which are really causing a bad reputation to the institution, which are related to various other pending and then delayed decisions. Okay, so now that I'm trying hard to really take care of that one. And then now coming to the other important aspect is that government has identified that those institutions which are 60 and plus are the institutions which the government has been handholding, and then they presume that they are now self-sufficient. And when they are self-sufficient means they will be supported by the government under various 3 standard heads, like operating head 31, 35, 31, and then 36, which just take care then the scholarships of the students, and then meager maintenance of some of the infrastructure facilities and departmental expenditure.
सही है वो रेट ठीक है वो देख ली.
Pardon?
Sorry, can you keep yourself muted? Sorry for the interruption. Please go ahead.
Okay, so now government recently I made a proposal to the government because personally what I realized and then what I have seen at Suratkal, we need to have a central research facility, and I have really taken a lot of points from the Vision 2025 document which was prepared by all of you, right? And then drawing some important aspects, and then I just try to redesign that one, and then trying to created a document, a thick document, calling it Advanced Research Center. The reason for that one is that it's a different times now today we are in, that individual departments are not to have all the expensive equipment, rather it should be centrally available so that the annual maintenance becomes easier, and then there is no redundancy of the equipment if it is required by many departments. So now I can save the money, and then apart from the general maintenance, that housing all this equipment at one place, it becomes useful for everyone, like the faculty, students, as well as the research scholars. With that idea, this idea is it's a beaten track. The reason is that it has been started at IIT Kharagpur, and then the Central Research Facility at IIT Kharagpur is a runaway hit. IIT Madras is also really very, very successful. And then taking clue from there at Suratkal. In Suratkal, I took 150 crores loan from the government, which is under the HIFA, that is Higher Education Funding Agency, and the Canara Bank gives the loan, and then we have got to repay the loan over a period of 10 years, right? Only thing is that we don't really have to pay the interest. Only thing is that the capital needs to be paid over 10 years, right? It amounts to 10% of the total amount that capital. There I could take around 260 crores of the loan. The reason is that it could be justified by the size of the IRG. Here, I could not really take that particular decision. The reason is that IRG as of now is 0 at Rourkela. So now with a 0 IRG, I really cannot really, even if I have to take 100 crores, 10 crores is what annually I have got to pay. So now this is one, another the bottleneck which I have. But then I think the coming year, since we plan to have more DASA students as well as the Study in India program students, and then we are contemplating to start certificate programs and then the weekend programs for the mining engineering executives in the industry, and then trying to, we have made up some ideas to increase the IRG so that at least to have a couple of hostels for the boys and girls. At least I need 2,000 seaters, right? 1,000 seater for the boys, 1,000 seater for the girls. And then if it is 50 crores each of these, the buildings, so now minimum 100 crores is what I'm now planning to have the loan. Straight away it has to be loan because government is not going to give. Initially, I thought this 100 crores will be earmarked for the advanced research facility, but then now I had to shift the focus more than the research facility. I have to focus on the hostels which are of prime importance, because for the first time I'm going to see that 8,000 plus 8,200 plus students on campus, right? And from end of July, I think I'm going to really have the first time 3 students in one room. So now my priority today is increase the number of hostels. This is the priority which I have. And coming to the research facilities and the medical facilities and other general facilities on campus. But as you all know that I'm the director here today, right? To be very honest, to be very, very rustic in my statement, I'm the caretaker of the institution, but I'm not the owner of this institution. I took care of NIT Rourkela for 5 years. Right now, I'm sitting in the chair to take care of your alma mater for the next 5 years. I have owned the institution, right? When I signed on 18th of February that I have taken the charge as the director, that day in and day out, I'm working for our institution, NIT Rourkela, right? But as a person responsible in the position, but not as the owner of the institution. Why I'm putting in quote and unquote is that I do not have any decision-making rights as far as giving away some part of the facility for a private enterprise entrepreneur to start a distillery on campus. Right? This is one issue which you are now currently having on the campus, right? Which you may distilleries which are on campus. Right? The government expects us to really generate money through these eateries or any such facility or any business on campus, okay, by paying a nominal rent. Okay, it is not a commercial rent which they otherwise will have to pay in the city, but then it is a nominal rent, but they have got to pay the rent. Gone are the times people always try to measure or look through the times of Professor Sarangi. During Professor Sarangi's time, there was nothing like an air. I just would like to share with you that Professor Sarangi has spent in phase 1 infrastructure development 161 crores, in phase 2 infrastructure development 310 crores. That means totally 470 plus crores he could really spend on campus to build the campus, and then he has really facelifted the campus to the level of IIT Kharagpur, and a lot of IIT Kharagpur is again replicated here, right? And the campus looks even really very good and spacious, green, and then with beautiful buildings, that in comparison to any other NIT. But then the question is that some of the buildings which have been initiated, right, are still not complete. I have shared some of the state of condition of the buildings with Sunit Gupta ji, and then I have even shared the pictures with I recently in June, right? In May, I had an opportunity to meet some of the alumni in Delhi, Mr. C.P. Gurunaniji, and then Mr. Agarwal, and then various other, a few others there in Delhi. I have shown the pictures. A building which was not occupied since 2015, 12-storied building. Okay, it is the institution has spent something around 110 crores. Right? The building is still unutilized, and there are 90 objections from the central audit that why the building spending 110 crores is not being utilized. Right? It is just 4 months since I'm here. But, it's not a complaint that I have on anyone, but then it is the system has failed in trying to realize whatever the problems which are there associated with that buildings. It is not one building. Almost all the buildings which are in the phase 2 are having some or the other the constructional problems because for various reasons. The quality of construction did not go well, and then nobody really. It was a changeover of the one from one director to the another director, and then the policies have changed, and then NIRF came into picture, and then people started focusing instead of the infrastructure facilities, they started looking at a different angle, and then these really went in the hindsight. And today, right, these are all the certain things which have really are still hitting this institution very badly as far as perception. Perception, if you just see, it is the single most important parameter which you are having the beating. The difference between Suratkal and then the Rourkela is barely 2 points totally. If we gain in 2 points in total, I think we will be crossing Suratkal. But then to beat these 2 points in the percentage wise, I think we have got to individually improve a lot in terms of perception, improve a lot in terms of the FRU, this financial resources utilization, improve a lot in generating the internal revenue, and then improve a lot in our visibility amongst the industry as well as the across the globe. Okay, we are making efforts, and I try to knock at the ministry, and then I had an opportunity to discuss with the minister in his residence for almost 45 minutes, and I explained him that I just wanted him to at least for once give us the grant in aid to take care of the buildings, because minimum I require 25 to 30 crores to bring all these buildings which are not being utilized for more than 8 to 9 years. Right? A beautiful architectural plan was there for the lecture hall complex 2. It's not occupied. Golden Jubilee building not being occupied. Faculty apartments, top floors are not being occupied. And then electrical electronics departments, the ground floors are absolutely, even in summer, you have the water seepage in that. There are certain smaller, these are not serious issues, smaller issues, which can easily be corrected. So now my focus today has shifted to these, and then ARC has completely taken the shadow, right? It has gone out of my focus now. Now, coming to the truth, which I just said, that I'm now here trying to take care, because I'm just trying to clean the pending issues and all that one. And then there was a feeling that if a large amount of contributions are made by the alumni, that what exactly is the ownership that institution can give to the alumni who has made a large contribution. I want to humbly state that to every single person, that please try to understand me, that it is not my personal property that I can really hand over to anyone. It is the government of India's property. I'm really asked to take care of that one. And then we have very clear statutes. We have very clear rules. We have very clear regulations. And then I'm just working within the framework of statutes. But having said this, I appeal to every single faculty member or every single alumni here overseas. It's the time for you to take a serious look into every single aspect of it. So now I'm making an appeal to all of you that a smaller contribution to marginal contribution or minimum contribution or medium contribution or large scale contribution, any single contribution, it means a lot. It means a lot to the institution because we really do not have any other funding from the government or from any other source other than trying to really generate all by our own selves. Right? I can give the salaries, I can give the pension, I can give the scholarship, I can take care of at the rate of 10 lakhs for 22 departments annually I'm paying. That is the maximum I can give. And you can just really make out, convert them into dollars, 10 lakhs per annum. What is this amount, what can it really buy to the institution, to the concerned department? It cannot buy anything other than tables and chairs. A department with 40 faculty members, 10 lakhs of rupees annually, through the government, if I share amongst the 22 departments, and I expect the faculty members to really improve your infrastructure in terms of the equipment, all right? They question me, they come back to me and then ask me that what equipment I can buy in 10 lakhs. Today, nothing is available in 10 lakhs with the value of money that we have. So now, this is what I just wanted to, and how much of it you really, I could really put forth you to understand the reality. And then just now I heard from Mr. Krishnan that they are planning to come in November in Rourkela to have their the annual meets there. And I'll try my best to give you the best picture of the institution, trying to take care of all the pending problems are taken care, and then the buildings are occupied, and then at least we make a beginning of creating a beautiful facility for the students. My priority is for the students, right? And then the reason is that if students are happy, 8,500 people are happy. And then when they pass out, they carry a happy message when they leave out. And then they leave a good message to those who are coming to join. And so it is just because of that. Perception is all around the students. So my focus, more than research, the faculty members have got to take care of their research facilities. It is left to their competence, it is left to their ability, it is left to their commitment and accountability and responsibility, and then their caliber. And the students, they come at the age of 18 or 19. And you all know that in an Indian system, that they are not independent, still dependent. Though they claim that they are independent, but then they are still dependent, and so they have got to be taken care. So my priority today, that people may think that people started really thinking and then raising their eyebrows that ARC was a detailed report was created by the director, and then he made an initial noise about creating a advanced research center, and then he knocked at different places, and then now it is gathering dust. Yes, it has to gather dust, because my priority is actually that. This is all I just wanted to really speak to you on this night, right? With not with a pinch of salt, but then with the tons of salt, right? And it's time for us to rebuild, re-engineer, rebuild, and then bring back the pride of Odisha, that is NIT Rourkela. It has the ability, believe me, because NIT Suratkal, if I really compare NIT Rourkela with NIT Suratkal, sometimes I feel that it should not take more than a year for me to take the institution back to its second position. Right? But then, right, having really spent 4 months, I'm now realizing that I need to focus more on certain other aspects than just promoting the publications, patents, and then the research, right? Which I'm trying to make the faculty members responsible and then take the commitment, right? Once they are committed, I believe that they are self-sufficient and then competent and then qualified, but most of the faculty members are from either IITs or from abroad. And we have a very good strength of the faculty. Only thing is that how do I really retain them? In faculty, they come and then they are leaving. This is what is the question which I have. Anyway, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. I will lot many chat messages are really coming up, right? So I will just read through them, and then I made it's a confession. It's a confession before the alumni, right? And then if I have hurt anybody's feeling, right, it is not meant to hurt anyone of you, but then it is only to bring the reality picture before. Give me some time. I just want you to see that. Just give me some time, and then I promise you all that I will be one day take the pride in seeing that yes, we did something to bring back the glory of NIT Rourkela. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you. Thanks a lot for this candid speech and very elaborative. Honestly, we are all emotional about NIT Rourkela, and maybe at some time we will mix comments that that you might not like it, but in general, I think we are all behind it. So we will open for question and answer. We will have to have a little more discipline in question and answer. So what I would request is anyone who have question, raise your hand, and then I will call your name. You can make a comment, that is fine while asking your question, but make sure your comments is short. And let's have one question per individual first. And if time permits, then we will have more questions. Thank you. And I see Giri, maybe you can start with your question.
Dr. Rao, that was a fantastic and a presentation from your heart, sir. Thank you for your passion and thank you for your transparency. Really appreciate it. My question is very simple. Have we done a SWOT analysis on what is uniquely the strength and opportunity of Rourkela as a city in the heart of Orissa? Thank you.
Yeah, as I said, as of now, right, I've been highlighting the weakness rather than the strength. The strength is the National Education Policy 2020, right? You all know that this is one agenda which we are about to take it forward. Every single parameter of NEP 2020 perfectly fits into NIT Rourkela. The reason is that we have almost 21 departments. We have departments in the humanities and life sciences and planning and architecture, School of Management, and then the biosciences, and then cryogenics, which most of the NITs do not have. So now the issue of interdisciplinary and then the multidisciplinary and transdisciplinary, right, which is really right, is the objective of NEP 2020. It perfectly fits without really looking into how to do and then what is the way out to do. It's only the intention with which we have to take it forward. We are really trying to make it really happen. So that is one of the greatest systems. Weakness, I just told you that it is not of the faculty because of the area that we are not able to retain the faculty or as well as the staff. And then the threat is that, right, other institutions are really fast, because we are fast growing up, because we are already in a race. Whether we accept it or not, NIRF ranking, like QS ranking in most of the Western countries, that we have got to show our potential. And then performance index, I think you all understand and then realize the importance of that one. That we have got to show our progress report annually. And that's where I find that the rate at which we are progressing is so less compared to the rate at which others are progressing. So now we have got just, that is the threat which right now we have. The opportunities is, the opportunity, as I said, that it is both the strength as well as the opportunity within, gel with each other.
Ashish, you want to go next?
Sure, Ranjan, thank you. Professor Rao, this is a great discussion and great talk. Thank you. I'm actually a 1998 batch computer science, and here I'm currently head of cybersecurity research at Cisco Research in San Jose. I've been working with Sandeep sir and others for a very long time too, actually, and also Ranjan is my class batchmate. But couple of points I'd like to make. I have actually worked with. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
So I have actually I did a startup in India, in US and India for a couple of years back, and I mentored about 15 students from NIT Rourkela, 15 to 20 students as part of the internship, and it was a great experience. But I have some points. The other point is, but overall across US and India, I mentored about 100 students over last 2 to 3 years, PhDs, undergrad and masters. So one of the things I think we should focus on the students. They are the products. I think whether faculty stay, leave or not, with the massive online courses out there, what I see, students from even Stanford University here, they go and take courses outside their curriculum, to learn new skills, new technologies on Coursera and other places, even though they have world-class faculty, because there's an enthusiasm to learn, there's an enthusiasm to actually grow themselves. That is what is missing. Currently, I'm actually with Sandeep sir, I started mentoring about 5 students. I said, give me 5 students. I want to mentor them for research. I've been in research for several years, like 15 years now, 17 years, it's my PhD, or 20 years. If we energize them for publications, doing great work, out of 5 students, 3 students almost dropped out. There are only 2 students from Nepal, from computer science, who have stayed and who are who are interested. So there is I think there has to be some form of ignition, that has to be there within the students, that they have to think beyond the institute, think beyond them to grow themselves. They are a world-class group of students. They are not just to be, we don't have a faculty. So there is one point, and I'm happy to help in many ways. I have my own cybersecurity research or innovation center that I'm running. I'll be happy to collaborate with my alma mater and Odisha to produce, let's say, 30 cybersecurity skilled engineers every year. I'll be happy to do that, sir. You can please let me know. The second one is, Professor Rao, is about faculty. I think this is what I've seen across US and Europe. So I work with, as part of my research group at Cisco Research, I work with about 25 to 30 faculties from top universities on a day-to-day basis on research, and working with them on different research projects in security and quantum computing and AI security. The problem with that is, with current Indian thinking, is I will take point blank, is age limit. Age limit. Why do we have an age limit? Because here in US, a person at an age of 50 can become an assistant professor, because that person goes and does a PhD and has a corporate experience, can become a professor. At this age, why do we have an age limit? This is, I'm sorry to use this word, this is ridiculous. If we want to grow, I apologize for using this word, but this is ridiculous. If we want to bring people who have experience or who have worked elsewhere or who are in different institutes, but from great, we need to remove this bar. Let everyone who is capable come in, teach remotely or locally or when whatsoever. I'm sorry, sir, but sure.
Yeah. So now, yes, you have rightly stated that students are the main stakeholders. So now, rightly again re-emphasized by you, and then it only gives me strength why I'm shifting my line of sight towards students. It's reiterating that. So now I have no again explanation to give. And then as far as the faculty age is concerned, right? Let me thank for everyone for coming forward to support us from the startups and NIT, your alma mater. Okay, thank you very much. And coming to the age limit, sir, actually the age limit is not there for those who are having some experience. A fresh graduate, right, after his BTech and MTech and then PhD, what the government has really stated is that, even I think it in US or Western countries, what they are saying is that it is just a copy paste here in Indian institutions. Like post PhD, 3 years of postdoctoral research is what is required. For those people only, there is an age limit. If somebody from the industry or any lab that having really gathered or working in any place is applying for a faculty position, that age limit bar is not there. And now coming to the why age limit, NIT Rourkela cannot really take the decision of lifting the age limit. It is a government policy, number one. Government policy is also now, they have really relaxed a lot. Right? Today, the professors of practice is also really introduced, right, in NITs as well. This was there only in Western countries. Right? Now today, even India government is promoting the recruitment of the people to join as a professors of practice, means those who have acquired sufficient industrial knowledge and then have the inclination and interest to research and then teaching and various other forms in which they can contribute to the academics of the institution. Now, as the entry level, recently, means in 2017 or 19, when one of that's what I was told, that in the electronics department, there were hundreds of applicants for the faculty position. Right? So now, unless you have a mechanism by which you are trying to eliminate them to the number of vacancies that you have. Okay. So now entry level only with the bare minimum, the requirement, eligibility criteria, without any working experience, only for them age limit is it. I hope I have really answered you. And then even if that has to be relaxed, and that is not within the hands of the authority of the institution's administration. That the government has to take.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you,
Thank
Professor.
you, sir. This, I just want to say that if I think we can follow up later, so that if you like me to collaborate and contribute to my alma mater to grow the students as a cybersecurity engineers, I would love to do that, sir. Please let us know how to do that. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashish. And I can get you connected with Professor Katua and you can move that discussion. Yeah.
Sure. Thank you, Ranjan.
Let's move to the next question. And as I said before, let's limit one question per individual. If time permits, we can go and do it again. Yeah. Venkat, you can go with your question.
Hello, sir. Good evening to you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for sharing your honest feedback about NITR. Very proud of our alumni. Sir, you listed a number of topics today, starting from human resources of retaining staff and employees within the university to students and education and type of programs being offered. Accommodation is another topic that you raised. With so many topics, it might be helpful for us if you can prioritize the topics on what is from most important to least important, because I think there is no one solution for all the topics that you have raised so far. Talking about, in particular, you said it's a fully residential school and you have, we take pride in offering accommodation for staff and students. I mean, 3,000 students, and if you were to build, a hostel that can accommodate 300 students, you're talking about constructing 10 new buildings on campus. And sir, many universities, in North America have gone away from owning buildings because owning buildings and operating buildings is a huge cost to an educational institution. And, one of the famous quotes that people use here is, we are in the business of providing education, not in the business of managing buildings. And it's a very resounding message that universities give over here, because they have made accommodation kind of the responsibility of students and parents. And you must be well aware that after the first year, most students in North American universities live off campus. I mean, why don't you look into such kind of arrangements with local developers to give you those kinds of accommodation? That way you can at least knock one item off your plate. I mean, it's just a suggestion and a thought based on what things happen elsewhere. And, following up on Giri's earlier question on the SWOT analysis, we would really like some level of feedback from you so we could try and pitch in and help wherever is needed. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much. And then now coming to the, again, let me be once again, honest answer to your question of, as far as India is concerned, education is still not a business. Having really said that one, I was JE Vice Chairman at IIT Kharagpur. 18 lakh students have taken the examination. Less than 1% is the success rate to get into IITs and the NITs. This is again a harsh reality which most of the countries other than India are facing. We have a large percentage of young and then aspiring youth, and then we still have to, it is the responsibility, it is realized by the government and realized are expected by the young citizens that it is the responsibility of the government to offer them the minimum education, right, at the minimal possible cost, and of which these institutions which are really created by the government for these students to make them the qualified people to work across the globe and then bring some bit of the, again, business back to the country. And again, once again, having said this one, not to provide hostels and then because the education institutions are not into owning the buildings and then maintaining the buildings, but then this is the government's mandate that the hostels have to be provided for the institutions like IITs and NITs. It is beyond my capacity to take any decision against our part. I have to really comply to the order. And,
Thank you, sir.
And again, the second thing is that just a couple of days, right, we had a long brainstorming session, like, can we hire the buildings outside Rourkela which can fit as the makeshift hostel arrangements on campus, or for the campus residents. Right? We do not have flats in Rourkela. We really do not have the flats which really can be made as a makeshift arrangement for the hostels. What all we have got to do, we have got to really convert some of the transit apartments or some of the other facilities, and then the dorms which you are really been enjoying when you were a student here. All the dormitories are now, we are trying to make them into the smaller rooms. So this is one thing that students expect, parents expect, government expect us to really provide the hostels. And somehow we are still taking pride in offering these facilities for the students to really become the qualified and competent engineers to serve the nation.
Yeah. Let's probably move to the next question, Mr. Haro Patnaik.
Sir, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I can.
Okay. I have a, not suggestion, but I have a solution for your medical issues you have, because when I was in the first year in 67, I had a surgery to be done. And overnight, the Bengali Babu, who was there, he helped me. So my friend took it to Ispa General Hospital. But my solution, one of the solutions could be, there is no medical college in Rourkela.
Yeah, no.
So why not our institute, promote a medical college? Then we'll have lots of doctors, a lot of students, a lot of help, and that may solve the problem. And the other gentleman who was talking about having outside builders building hostels for students, that may solve some of the issues. So these are my suggestions. I don't know whether it's going to be good or bad, but Rourkela really needs a hospital. A medical college. I mean, and Burla is there, which is about not 100 miles, less than 100 miles away.
Yes.
That can be moved to Rourkela or have a branch in Rourkela. They can promote that thing.
Sir, in fact, I can only make a proposal to the government, but then again
all you can do is proposal.
To create a medical college and then a hospital, it is hundreds of crores of rupees, and which government should really come forward.
Money will come. You know, the people are looking in Odisha for medical college.
Yeah. To be very honest, in fact, I really passed a message indirectly to the secretaries and others, to the minister or honorable Minister of Education, that Rourkela is now the earmarked as a smart city. I just told them that why not we really make that this is a smart city. As everyone knows, it's a steel city, and it should also become a science city. And then why
Steel
not
city, smart city, all the stuff. I mean, Rourkela is the best place.
No, they can
kind
really,
of under the table.
Yeah,
a lot of people don't know about it.
Yeah, they can create some facilities for bringing in research institutions, research labs, and then medical college, and then various other colleges.
Yes, sir.
And
you know, the professors there, when I saw, I am interacted with a couple of professors. They're very smart. They don't have the right equipment. Okay. And if you tell us, you know, I've been doing research for General Motors for the last 50 years. So I have access to a lot of equipment. If you need, I can send it to you anytime. So I think Dr. Bist, yeah, he contacts me. So thank you, sir. I mean, you've been great. You've been great.
Let's move to the next one. Sandeep Mosa.
Can you hear me, Dr.?
Yeah, it's clear. Yes.
I am asking for a specific help. I have been working with Dr. Khutua already. My aim is to catch students in second year and orient them towards research, so that instead of industry training, they do some research paper. So by the time they graduate, they don't have to, they already have learned how to do, literature survey, etc. for doing a PhD. So, so that way they will be able to come to, Northern America, and their chances will go up because they have already done 6 months work.
Sure.
And I suggest that you orient the professors of 21 departments to at least 5 people in each department be prepared for PhD in 3 years' time. Is that possible? I know Dr. Khutua is with me. We have made a group of professors in NIT Rourkela and a few academics, alumni academics in North America. And we are working, we have had 1 or 2 meetings, and we will be, but if you give that direction or, suggest to the professors that 5 students they prepare from now, from second year, in 5 years, we will have 100 PhD candidates coming from Rourkela or more, because once 5 get, the 6th will not stay behind. He will try to catch them.
Sure.
It's a sound suggestion.
Definitely.
So that was my suggestion to you, and I hope you will be, some hit to it. And Dr.
Yes.
is there already on the board.
In fact, one of the strengths, as what I already stated, that the strength of your alma mater, NIT Rourkela, is that we have very good faculty members. Only thing is that, right, I have to retain them here is number 1. Number 2 is that, yes, they are really very, very qualified. Nothing less to any IIT. Your point which you have stated, that they can really catch the researchers and then prepare them to become the promising researchers. I think it is a doable suggestion.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let's move to the next one, Manas.
Yeah, hello, Professor Rao. Thanks for your candor and presenting all the ways, all the problems which are also opportunity for alumni to help, right? So one of the areas I want to discuss, and I think looks like the research output is one of the important factor for NIRF and also engaging the faculty and the students, right? And I had gone through the ARC proposal. Is a wonderful proposal, kind of putting together 6 areas of thrust, right? So now again, so in most advanced institutes, they have like a vice chancellor of research who's driving the research, right? Who's creating that, which is running that research organization, supporting faculty, creating opportunities and of collaboration with industry, other educational institute. So I know you have a lot in your plate. Is it possible for you to appoint someone, right, who can still drive that, right? Because that is going to be critical to build that and then do all this connect, right? So that's one of my suggestions and questions. Can I sort of associate director or someone who can still drive that?
If you may answer your questions, like as in the NIT system, which is absolutely like IIT system, we have the, apart from the director, we have right now 6 deans, and one of the 6 deans is the dean with research, is also research and consultancy, and which we call it as a dean strict. So now he's almost has the same role like the vice chancellor, because it is a vice chancellor. That designation, though it is not there, but we have people earmarked for such research and the science research and industrial consultancy. This is what is called the district. And then we have one dean, and then he is supported by associate deans. Okay. They are really working in that particular area. As okay, the designation doesn't matter whether it is a vice chancellor research or a dean SRIC. It's they are fitting in the same purpose. The question is that the competition is very stiff, very stiff now, and then we have got to compete. And again, I would like to take this opportunity to acknowledge that on a daily basis, I'm seeing tens and lots of projects we are really proposing to the government, right? And the number of research proposals which I am signing every day is many times more than what I signed it today. But still, the question is that how many of them are translating into a sizable research funded project? And that is one thing which, and then 1 crore sized projects are very few. And for some reasons, again, like with the facilities which IITs have, they take away much of the research projects. But still, I think our faculty are geared up, enthusiastic, competent, and then they're giving their best efforts. And the only thing is that time, it's only that we are waiting for the right time that we make a beginning for a large sized research projects. We are putting our efforts in that.
Thank you.
Let's move to the next one. Sampath Mahanti.
Yeah. Good morning, sir. Good afternoon. Good evening. So my questions, I think I graduated very recently in 2016. So I have a little more maybe concerns about what I saw in those days, right? I think Professor Sulin Sarangi in a recent NEP, I think awareness program at IIT somewhere, was mentioning about how NITR or even NITs were at some point they were as competent as IITs, but they've moved back in ranking because of the disconnect between how we put importance to basic science research versus explicitly training people in technology, right? We have, for example, I don't know, at least when I was there, I did not like the maths being taught. I was really poor at math. I'm not a good math student, but I didn't like how they were teaching. There was a very disconnected.
What is wrong with it?
Sorry, go ahead, Sampath. Yeah.
Yeah. So, so it was one of the things is like, how do we do the basic sciences like mathematics, which is very important. And I'm a graduate student here. I feel like I'm very less trained compared to the students from China. They're like really brilliantly trained in mathematics and I'm really poor, even being from one of the, let's say 2-3% of India, right? How do we improve that? That's one point. The other point I faced when I was a student is I wanted to take courses in computer science when I was in EE. And there was absolutely, I had to run 3 months around taking permission from here, there, all the places. And at the end, I was denied by the HOD of my department from electrical, saying that even if the faculty agreed to allow me in the class, and in the rule book, it's there, you can take courses because they're professional electives. So when students want to explore, get knowledge, there's a system which is preventing them from doing that. So it's working against the students. How do we facilitate, make a mechanism which helps people to explore when they want to explore? Yeah, and maybe people have already put the points out that we can train students early on in doing research in like first year, second years. We shouldn't really underestimate that they're not capable or not independent enough to think. I think here in US universities, there's a bridge between the PhD students and undergraduate because we work with the undergraduates. They come to do research in summer. Right now, I'm mentoring some undergraduates and as well as some high school students who are doing research alongside me. So how do we bring that culture into our institute? Yeah. Thank you.
Right. Should I answer? Shall I answer you now?
Yeah, thank you.
Let me first tell you that my association with IIT Kharagpur is more than 3 decades. 32 years of my teaching experience at IIT Kharagpur. Honestly, from the bottom of my heart, I state that NITs are still the best teaching institutions in the country. There is absolutely no second discussion about that, or the opinion of it. IITs have the best facilities. As far as undergrad teaching is concerned, I'm seeing that the way the teachers are committed to the undergraduate teaching. Expectations, yes, definitely. Every student's expectations are not met by the teacher. This is number one. Okay. Number two is that I think way back, right, in 2013-14, the strength in a class used to be 40. And then now the strength in the class is 120. This is not the choice of NIT Rourkela. These are certain realities which we just have to accept that for various other reasons. The strength gradually has been increased. Without, the classroom is the same. Your laboratory facilities are the same. The number of teachers, right? Though we have to really maintain 1:15, right? Every other facility other than the teachers which are expected to increase, remaining same, the one-to-one connection which NITs used to enjoy, becoming the exclusive teaching institutions, is gradually fading away. Now that we are in the race of picking up our rank, our positions in NIRF ranking, now there is again another responsibility put on our shoulders, that it is not just NIRF ranking, that you are going to be in top 200 or 500 in QS ranking, right? Just let us be honest here, that can any IIT, right, compare itself with MIT or Stanford or Berkeley or Georgia or any other institution, because these are all the universities, right? And 60 years, 70 years in building up an institution or a university is a small time. Please take an MIT, right? Hundreds of years are required for building up a university. And then we are not really lagging behind. This is one, with pride, I say that NITs are really giving their best in giving to the best of their ability and the knowledge, that they are giving the best undergraduate teaching. Yes. And now NEP 2020, National Education Policy 2020, has given more flexibility. It's all now going to be the student-centric, which was not the case earlier when I was a student, or when all my counterparts here passed out in 78, 89, 83 and all that one, right? Today now it's going to be student-centric, where almost 20 credits you can really earn, not from NIT Rourkela or parent institution, you can really earn the 20 credits anywhere, right, under the sky. This flexibility is there. Now, government is asking us to really have academic bank of credit, where 20 plus credits can be really part in that one which can be utilized to really gain your whatever credits. If you acquire more than 160 or 170 credits which is required for your undergraduate degree, right? Say for example, per se, that is if you are gaining 185 credits, you will get a BTech honors degree. Right? All these are the additional credits which are acquired from any other IITs or any other, or even any university under the sky. Right? And multiple entry and exit is what again is government is planning to introduce in engineering education. It is about any student after sophomore, right, wants to take an exit. They can go out, acquire additional credits, and then put them in the bank, and then come back and enroll in the institution, and then complete the formalities. So, no, let us just try to understand that in a size, in the population of the Indian engineers passing out every year, 200,000 engineering students are passing out every year. Right? In that size, right, I think we are trying to meet the requirement of everyone. And then, yes, one or two teachers haven't been able to meet up to the expectations of one or two students, but by and large, but I think they are giving their best within the limitations which they have.
Yeah. Thank you, Professor. Just one more point regarding the same point you raised about like having very poor student to faculty ratio, right? This thing about in the US universities, this is a vertical learning, right? You have learned from your students, like your teachers, your teaching, but there is also a lot of learning in the peer level, which is provided in the US universities by hiring a lot of TAs, and also called class representatives or whatever, those people who come together and help you because they already know more than you. So we don't have a mechanism for that as well in our system, where there's a lot of encouragement between peers.
Thank you, Sampada. Again, we have to move on. We don't have much time. It's already 11 p.m. in India. So that's, Gary, you may ask a question.
Thank you very much. Dr. Umaji, like you wanted to be called? Yes, sir.
Yeah.
One of the focus that you mentioned is the visibility across industry.
Yes.
And of course, that brings the alumni organizations and also students that have passed out working in industry into focus. And the main interaction that takes place is through the dean, the alumni and industrial relations department.
Yes.
And I have some observations, and and I want to make a suggestion. During the past 5 years that I've been involved with the development of the NITROAA Endowment Scholarship, I've had interactions with 4 different deans in the short span of 5 years. And part of the reason is that they are on a 2-year term assigned as a seconded position. And, there is the only common thread between the 4 different deans is the admin. That person is the one that knows what's the ins and outs of what's going on. The suggestion that I have is that why not make the dean, this position, the dean alumni industrial relations, a permanent position with specific job descriptions and performance standards, and tailored towards the goal of reaching the perception, ranking high, visibility across industry. The visibility happens when alumni get involved, word of mouth goes around saying that, okay, this institute did this for me, how they're performing in their future jobs, how they interview and how their performance is in actual industry. That's one of the key areas how the perception is raised. And I can see a great opportunity, not just recruiting, this department not just doing recruitment of placement of students in jobs, but interaction with industry in a way that enriches the industry, the institute, and also gives those students so much of credibility that in the future industry will be looking for students from NIT Rourkela. So that's a suggestion, because I know that being in a temporary position for 2 years, these deans are, they have their regular job too. So the institute is not that's, in my opinion, doesn't seem to be putting the focus on this particular aspect of improving perception. That's my comment.
Thank you, sir. Actually, yes, what you said is very true. But again, like all the NITs, they have a governing body, that is the NIT Council. And because of a pandemic, the last two council meetings could not be held. And the council meetings are usually headed by the chairman of the council, is the Honorable Minister of Education. And then I have almost made what exactly some of the things which I have suggested, though it is not a permanent one. But then I just made a request for increasing the number of deans or give the flexibility to the director to have more number of deans. So like now with only 6 deans, in fact, NIT Rourkela is in a way going by the number of departments, it's nothing less than IIT Madras or Kanpur or Roorkee, right? It is of the same size, and then if you look at the size of the students also, it is nothing less to any of the IITs. But then the number of deans which are part of the administration, like they have something around 12 to 14 or 15 the deans, right? And the tenure of the dean is 3 years in IITs, though not permanent, but here it is 2 years. I made a request as an agenda in the council. Again, this is again what I said is that these are all the statutory decisions, requirements, and then they laid down statutes in the NIT. Hello. Am I audible to you?
Yes, you are. Yes, it's. I think there's some interference.
Yeah. So now the question is that yes, your point is absolutely valid, and then if not permanent, at least if they can really increase the term of office of the deans, that will help. Right? We are making it as an agenda on the next council, because it is at the council level, it has to be decided and then changed.
Okay, good.
Thank you. So we move to Sagnik Paul.
Thank you, Professor Rao, for your talk. It was very useful and entertaining to know about like what the status of this current situation is. I just have like 2 quick questions. One is there any plan of action or any things that you are trying to do to improve the intake of like better quality of grad students? Because I believe like grad students, like mainly PhD students, have a more direct impact on the quality of research rather than undergrad students. And secondly, have you given the thought of appointing adjunct faculties that can help like increase the profile and the research collaboration of the students, and also create many more avenues of opportunities inside India and abroad? Thank you.
I think these 2 questions are already being answered. Like we have the provision now with the government giving us a little more flexibility to go for adjunct faculty members as well as the professors of practice. I think that they have really taken care. And then as far as the quality of grad students, as you said, right, the requirement is that they are about to be GATE qualified, and then based on their rank in the GATE. GATE is also as competitive as JEE. And then to be very honest here, the number of students taking GATE examination is many times more than the JEE score. So now it is very, very competitive. And then those with the better score in GATE are the ones who are eligible to apply for the fellowship during the PhD program. Okay. Now those who are coming from the industry, right? This is industry sponsored and then self-sponsored. We don't have any self-sponsored program as of now, but then the quality, this is the quality check that we can really have, and we do not really have any other quality check than GATE. Okay. That is again a reality.
Thank you. We have the last question. I don't know there is no name here. It's a 732 number. Let's see. I don't know who is the last question. I see a raise.
I'll ask a question. Sorry, this is Mihir Dash. Is there any way you could leverage there are people that are engineers that are working with steel plants or the fertilizer plants to work as a part-time faculty supporting the main faculty?
This is, I think, this professors of practice, which the provision, which now they through new NET program which we have, right? We have the window to really take the people from the industry as a professors of practice. That is now we have got to now look for the suitable candidate who is interested to join the institution. That provision is this.
Another quick question is there possibility that NIT could provide some research to the state government and to generate some income from that, from the states that they might have a need in certain areas, whether it be civil engineering or any other areas that NIT is capable of providing such research?
Indeed, we have. I think one of the highly paid research the project by the School of Management over for 3 years' time, tenure of that particular project. I think just yesterday only I have signed that particular MOU. It's a state government one. This is empowering the women of the state. Like it is more than 3+ crores project. The state government. We do have state-funded the research projects.
I think we have the final question from Akhila Babu.
Yeah. Professor Rao, this is...
The voice is not there.
You're muted. You're muted.
Yeah. Hello, dear Professor Rao, thank you
please.
for covering and enlightening the situation prevailing in your institution. Very clearly, you have explained everything. We know the bottlenecks we are facing from the government. Probably you are trying your best to get it solved out. I have some few small questions. The first question to you is, how many faculty do you have got a foreign PhD degree? Question number one. Second question to you is, the publication what you are publishing in the international journal, which are highly recognized. Any study you have made or not? Third question to you, sir, is on the grants for the department, you are giving 10 lakhs rupees to each department. That 10 lakhs rupees should not be dependent on the faculty. They should generate their fund by submitting a research proposal and get it approved. Here in this country, the institution make money out of the faculties because they get the grants. So that's one, and then you should look into that what kind of proposal they're suggesting. It should be properly evaluated, and sources should. And another point, to get the proposal approved, there should be a kind of lobby goes on in this country. So to get the lobby, what you have to do, you have to select the faculty members to go to international conferences and get to know the people there. Once they go to international conferences, the knowledge they get, the high-ranking knowledge is the forefront of the subject. And then when they write the proposal, it will be difficult for the people to understand if they're really smart enough. I have faced the situation because I was attending international conferences, submitting proposal. People were not able to read. There is no faculty to start evaluate the proposal. So these are some few factors I will recommend to keep on, and you will see your financial situation for the academy and for the research will be sufficient. And last point is, don't depend on creating a research facility at your own. There are a lot of research facilities all over the country. They should go and collaborate. There are centers, and then they should do the research, publish papers for high standard. These are some of the suggestions. Hopefully, I made some point. I appreciate your time. Thank you so much. All the best. Bye.
Thank you very much.
I think, I mean, we are running out of time. I have one more thing to do before we wrap it up. And if you allow me, Professor Rao, I just want to say
all the time for everyone. This is my weekend, and then I'm sitting here with lots of hope.
Yeah, I just want to people know about the convention, upcoming convention. Gary, if you want to go through the slide?
Oh yeah, thank you very much, Ranjan. Most of our alumni are very much aware of the upcoming convention of NITROAA in Dallas, and I'm very pleased to know that our NIT director, Dr. is also familiar with this area, that he has been in Houston for some time, and I was very glad to hear that. So we're going to make it a point that you come and attend our convention in Dallas. So we're working on getting that going through. In addition to the speakers that we have planned entertainment. We also have interaction sessions for the students to interact with graduate student alumni to interact with the well-established alumni. So looking forward to all of you signing up and attending. And with that, I'd like to say welcome to Dallas, and let's have a great time.
Thank you. Thank you for your invite, sir. Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Gary. Thank you, Gary, and thanks a lot, Professor Rao. I think it was a great speech, and it was the way you interacted with the alumni was great. Again, my apologies if we have said something that we should have said. But I can tell you with surety that everybody from the Alumni Association would like the Institute to do better, and probably would help you in any ways that you would ask us to help. Yeah. So with that, thanks a lot, and thanks to Professor Katua for coordinating all these things. It was not easy, and it's quite late in India, so we truly appreciate you doing this at this last hour.
It's not too late. It's not really too late, and then in fact, I give a lot of importance. I've given a lot of importance to this particular day, to this meeting. That I've been waiting for this because I just wanted to see each one of you, right? Though virtually, but then yourself, and then make myself visible to you, because it's time for all of us to come together. Every person has certain limitations. So do I have. But then keeping aside the personal limitations, I think it's time for us to rebuild. And we are in a competition. That is one thing which I just wanted to really re-emphasize, that in a competition, that there is no relationship, right? And when I'm competing with IIT Kharagpur, maybe that is my parent institution, but my relationship is NIT Rourkela. We are in that competition. In that spirit only, we have to come together and then play and bring it to the place where it belongs to, and it should sustain, is what is my dream. I think we'll make our dreams come true.
Thank you, and thanks everyone for joining the call.
Thanks, sir. Thank you very much. Good night from NIT Rourkela, and a good day for all of you there in various parts, in various time zones. Thanks a lot. Thank you for your
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. Thank you very, very much.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.